Salam alaikum, welcome back to my channel. I'm Manal. I need to come up with like a cool catchphrase. Some people out here like, it's your girl Manal, or actually, did they say anything else? Anyway, I need one because my marketing consultant hasn't come up with one for me yet. So firstly, I want to say thank you for all of your feedback on the previous video. I really appreciate that. What you appreciate is when I just talk about the things that I care about. I appreciated reading all of the comments, the DMs that came my way, people telling their own stories. There were some problematic things that came up, but I'll cover that in another video another time. Some people were asking for part 2. Part 2 will come eventually, but I'm not trying to have you sitting around waiting for the next video. The point was to start the conversation. You need to be questioning your communities, yourself, your own biases, and out of nowhere, when you least expect it, I'ma slap you with another video. Not actually slap, because this is a non-violent movement. That's a plane. Can you hear that? Today, I figured you guys can hang out with me while I practice my Tigrinya homework. What is that, you may ask? Well, as you know, I am from Eritrea. In Eritrea, there are a number of tribes, languages, and cultures that exist. My tribe is called Jabarti. Our native language is called Tigrinya. Tigrinya is also the national language in Eritrea. I lost a lot of language when I went to Australia because I was only 3.5 years old. It was only when I was about 14 that I really wanted to pick up my language again. I would just talk a little bit more as much as I could. Learning to read and write is a completely different challenge. It was something that I've always kind of looked at as something in the distance. One day I will learn you. This year, I got a burst of inspiration after going to a languages conference. I saw these kids who were learning to write Japanese, right? And learning the stories behind all of the different characters. If y'all can do that, I can learn my language. Language is everything. People often use the excuse, I may not teach my kids Tigre or Tigrinya or Saho or any of the other languages because they're not gonna need it, you know, especially if they don't live in Eritrea. No one's gonna speak it in the next generation, and then eventually it won't even matter. Did you just use the fact that your language might die as a reason to not learn it? It's something I can't comprehend. When you really understand the value of language, it is a part of the culture, it is the history, it is all of the teachings. If you think that your language is gonna die, isn't that the reason that you should learn it? That you should pass it down to your kids so that they have access to something that is so historical, so ancient, that is theirs. English is not mine. It's just a mode of communication. Tigrinya takes me back through generations. It gives me access to speak to my grandmother. How are we so okay with letting go? I could go on about this for days. Yeah, cool. So I started off by just writing the letters. Usually I have a chart in my room in Australia, but obviously I didn't bring it here, so I'm making my own chart so that I can revise. If we were to go over them real quick. Be, bu, bi, ba, be, b, bo, nya. Tigrinya, khe, khu, khi. My handwriting is terrible in any language. W, wu, mu, mi, ma, me. That's the only letter I knew when I was growing up. Fe, fe, fo. Here the main difference is that this one is more slanty and this one is a straight line. You gotta pay attention to details. Hu, hi, ha, e, o. Ignore this. Ze, z, ju, ji, ja, he, hu, e. Like abai. Che, chu, chi, ta, te, che, chu, chi, cha, che. It looked like I was trying to draw a fat stick figure, but it just... I'm trying, alright? I get an A for effort. Yeah, so it comes from all the way next. So this one was it's up at the top of your mouth, yeah? But then you've got yeah? Comes from all the way down here. So you get me. These ones are the ones that kill me. For me, my mind just jumbles them all up. We start off with the simple one. That's de. Then you've got, see, I'm already lost. Je, ju, ts, like tom, yeah? Fasting. So I taught myself I would do it just by repeating. I would pick 4 or 5 base letters a day and learn all 7 variations of them. And I was picking it up really quickly that within a week I had done the entire alphabet, all 224 letters. It was the greatest achievement. I was so happy. This is a Tigrinya dictionary. My dad bought it for us when I was a child. I went and dug it up. Sometimes I just take it out with me and I just read and I learn a new word. Let me choose one that's not going to embarrass me, yeah? I got people out here that got respect for me, you know? I got to make sure that that stays. Feudalism. Oh, let's go into politics. Okay. It's literally feudalism, but with a Tigrinya accent, yes? So, feudalism. Feudalism. It's not until you start to read in another language and you learn the alphabet, you start to understand why accents exist the way that they do. In a typical Eritrean or Ethiopian accent, you'll hear somebody say warlid. There's no way of making the R, the L, and the D all come together. The letters that you would use would be w, r, l, d. So when you say it, it ends up being warlid, right? I love it, man. I love linguistics. There are the letters. I'm about to put this on the internet. I'm not trying to expose myself. You know what? I'm gonna write my name for you. Me, na, le, ye, nu, Tigrinya has 224 letters. The Tigrinya alphabet and the Amharic alphabet are almost exactly the same. There's just a couple of extra letters that Amharic has that are not in Tigrinya. Both of them come from an ancient language called Giz. Is the Fidel alphabet or the Giz alphabet. Tigrinya and Amharic are completely different languages. They're not dialects, but there are a lot of similarities because they both come from that original language. Giz is a Semitic language, and so therefore Tigrinya and Amharic do have Semitic roots. They come from ancient Aramaic, which is also the same roots that Arabic and Hebrew come from. That's why you find a lot of the sounds that exist in Tigrinya exist in those languages. Amharic loses a lot of the really intense things. Like in Amharic, it's Amharic, it's not Amharic, right? But let me do a completely different linguistics video once I'm in the vibe. But you get me hyped up, I'ma get hyped up. That's my ish. I wrote a poem called 224. I'ma play it at the end of this, okay? I hear a lot of young people saying, I wish I could read and write Tigrinya. And for a long time, I had that kind of idea too. But if you want to learn it, you can learn it. And it's actually really not that hard. It just takes a bit of time and energy. I memorized the entire alphabet, except for those ones that I had a little bit of a glitch with, within a week. And then after that, it was just about implementing it. I have friends who write poetry in Tigrinya. I was able to challenge myself to read their work. I bought a bunch of books. I find resources in Tigrinya. If you just give it that little bit of time, just do it. It's really not that hard. That was 224 letters right there that we just did in that few minutes. I'll make it rain. I don't know why I did that. I'm gonna take the time to go over my letters a little bit, do a bit more of my reading. I'm gonna get back to you guys next time. Wait. I promised you a poem. This is not working out for me. Yeah, why did I even change camera angles? I could have just left it up. How's my angle? I hope you're getting some depth of field in there. I won't know until I'm editing. Hey, you can see my Sajjad in the background. Hey Sajjad, how you doing? 224 was the number of letters that my older brother and sister would bring home to me after their long days at school. I was too young to read, but I've been told I was always eager. Quite the storyteller. 224 tools to carve mountains that our city was built on, to paint the clouds that surround it, to illustrate the house with the green door by the bus stop in Akhriya, to carry the legend of a family persecuted, displaced, colonized, decolonized, free, successful, overcome by communism, war, and scattered across 4 continents, yet still celebrating a victory hijacked. That's in it. 224 ingredients to the injera, tabhi, shura, and bun. I lost the 224 keys to my inheritance before I was old enough to trace the letters. Be, bu, bi, ba, be, bu, bo, onto paper. I was moved from everything I know to a place supposedly safe for now. As I let the sand from this foreign land make its way between my toes, let it wash over my body and take over my tongue, I don't know exactly when it happened. Somewhere between the white faces and bitumen roads, between supermarkets and kindergarten, I can't remember exactly where it happened. But one day I searched for them, and they were gone. All 224 lost, and I received 26 in return. Suddenly, my ability to roll R's and smooth H's and spit R and Qa were useless because the realm of my imagination was limited to 26. So I learned how to make the most of what I had been given. This is why I mold and manipulate these letters and this language to make magic. I am learning every corner of this alphabet, finding sanctuary in this vocabulary. My lemonade, though sipped through the shortest straw, will be the most beautiful. And while I revel in dancing across codes not meant for me, sometimes I wonder, had the choice been mine? I might have chosen the guttural, the intonations, the phonetic, poetic, adventurous, ancient, but it's cool. I'll find them. One by one, like a classic treasure hunt, I'll collect and collate all 224 keys to my inheritance. That's all I got for you today. Bisalam kiruh. I'll catch you next Tuesday. And you know what? Actually, next vlog is in Tigrinya. So you can see my attempts at learning Tigrinya, and you can remember that if your Tigrinya is better than mine, you're killing it and you got to hold on to it, right? If your Tigrinya is not as good as mine, then you gotta know it's okay to make a fool of yourself because you're learning. Learning a language should be humbling. Let yourself make mistakes. Let yourself look foolish. Let yourself be corrected. Much love to everybody, and this goes for anybody who's trying to learn their native language or trying to learn another language, any language for that matter, but particularly with your native languages, because had it not been for that language, you would not be who you are. I'm out. Peace. Assalamu alaikum. Ciao, ciao, ciao.